Today we're going to go over ways to make our writing better. Do you remember the other day we discussed how having more ideas can strengthen our writing? Do you remember doing that? And why is it important that we have those details? What does it help us do?
So it makes sense.
It helps our writing make sense. It supports our idea that we have. When we have those details, it helps support what we're writing about, right? So we also talked about how having that information organized helps our writing as well. Because if I was talking about things that were happening on Saturday and talking about things that were happening on next Tuesday, and I was saying Saturday I did this, then Tuesday I went and did this, but Saturday I did this, and then Tuesday I went and did that, would that make more sense, or would it make more sense if I had all of my Saturday stuff in one area when I was writing and everything I was going to do next Tuesday in one area?
Yeah.
Which one would make more sense?
All like the stuff where
you did Saturday
in one area and then on Tuesday in one area.
So it makes more sense when we have certain details to support one idea in one spot, right? And then have those ideas in the next spot.
You shouldn't that because it's a different idea.
Very good. So you're talking about how when we make our paragraphs, having different paragraphs for each idea.
And that in between each one because it's a different idea.
Very good. I like that. So we're going to go over organization today to help us with our writing, because we talked about how having that organization enhances our writing. So we're going to go ahead and read why organization is important, and these are the tips to help us when we're organizing our writing. These are the questions to ask ourselves as we're doing our writing. So it says, how does my paper begin? Because we want to make sure that our paper begins with our
capital
letter
and the
topic, the topic of what we're writing, right? So we want our paper to begin with the topic or the idea that we're writing about. So then we want to make sure that we tell those things in order like we discussed. And then does everything link to my message? So the message of the writing that we started our topic is everything that we're writing about, like in that paragraph like you're talking about, is that all linked together? Is it supporting that main idea? And how does my paper end? Does it all go together and flow?
You have to end it with a conclusion.
A conclusion, right. So we want it to end by bringing in all the details together, right? Very good. So why is it important that we have that organization to our paper?
So it makes sense.
So it makes sense, right? So we've also talked about having the ideas, like we're going to continue with today, but we're just going to refresh our memory by going over the ideas chart also for today's lesson to help so that we know what is our message. So the idea is what our message of our paper is. And is my message clear? We want to make sure that the details and everything are making that message clear and not being all scattered. And then did I try hard to make it interesting? And why do we want it to be interesting? Why do we want our idea to be interesting?
Interesting.
So it's enjoyable to read, right?
Yeah.
And so people want to read it. And then do I have enough information? And that is something that we've talked about that we're going to work on, making sure we have enough information to support our idea. Like when we talked about your school uniform outfit, and we talked about how having enough information would help support that idea instead of just thinking.
Like if it's a uniform for like work or if it's a uniform for school.
Correct. So we want to be clear in what we're talking about, and we want it to have enough detail. So today we'll be looking back at these to have ideas and organization to our writing. So we can see that we must have a good idea in our writing. We must have things that organize and support that idea in a clear manner to help support our writing clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So from that, we're going to use a little graphic organizer today to help plan our writing and make sure that our ideas are planned out, and then we're able to organize what we are talking about. So what we're going to go over, I'm just going to show you guys here the graphic organizers that we're going to use in our ideas. So we talked about coming up with an idea is what we're going to do here, and we're going to have, I want everyone to at least get 3 to 4 details to support their idea that they're talking about. For right now today, we're just going to work on the top section, but as we continue on throughout this week and throughout our writing conferences, we will go ahead and we will continue to fill these out and make an idea that all goes together. These ideas will kind of link together and then have details that support those ideas. So then we're able to then, what we will do is put it into a paper. And having this organization, having different notes and things and little details will help our writing be organized and form a clear writing passage that our readers can understand and read clearly by following our organization and making sure that we have those details to help support our writing. So first off, we're going to start off with an example for you guys so that you can see how we're going to do this, because I want you to know that when we're taking these notes to help come up with our ideas and help plan for our organization, we do not have to have our complete sentences filled out. So in here is where we put our idea. So my idea is, I went shopping. So then what am I going to do once I come up with my idea? What are we doing next?
You are talking about what you did.
Correct. So the details can say what we did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are our details over here, and on our paper they're going to be listed. So we're going to come up with our details, and I said we needed to have how many?
3 or 4.
3 or 4 is what we need to shoot for today. So that way when we go to form our paragraphs, we can easily form a paragraph by using these details to form sentences and have our introduction with this. So a detail of, I went shopping. When I went shopping, I had to buy groceries. So had to buy groceries, because we don't need to have it be complete sentences here. We're just getting our ideas down on paper and getting those details so then we can form our writing.
Mom,
Had to buy groceries. So had to buy groceries. Maybe while I was buying groceries, I saw my friend. So I had to buy groceries and I saw my friend. And we talked, maybe. So then after I did that, as I'm leaving the store, I would have to pay for my groceries, right? So the next idea or detail that I could talk about as I went shopping, of things I did when I went shopping, is pay the cashier. You guys see how I could then use these to form sentences? And then after this, I
Went home.
loaded my groceries in the car.
And went back home.
So once I have these few ideas, so I come up with these details supporting my idea, I could then form this into a paragraph. For example, I could say, yesterday I went shopping at Target. So I could add detail even as I'm writing, but these are just getting my ideas down on paper. So I don't have to have everything down here, just some ideas and details that will help me when I do go to form that so that I have the organization.
And today I went to Aldi's.
Yep, I could say that too. So I went shopping. Today I went shopping at Aldi's. And then my next sentence could be, while I was there, I had to buy groceries. When I was shopping, I saw my friend, Susie, and we talked. It was then time to go, so I went up to pay the cashier. After paying the cashier, I loaded my groceries into my car. Do you guys see how getting our details and our notes down on paper will help us have organization as we go to form our writing?
Yeah.
So as we talked about the other day, that we want to make sure that we have those details in our writing instead of just coming up with our idea and having our idea in our paper. We want to have those ideas. So what we're going to do today is work on the top one of coming up with our idea and details. And for today, what our paper is going to be about is things that we did over the weekend. Because I think a lot of people talked about having some fun time over the weekend with it being nice outside. Does everyone have a pencil or? Okay.
Mine's not sharpened.
Here we go. Let's make sure we get our first name on our paper. And we're going to then come up with our idea and get our details down about our topic. And they do not need to be complete sentences. Okay, you can keep working and get our ideas. And you guys can keep working. I'm going to keep talking, okay? And then in my differentiation for this lesson, as students would be out working for my lesson, what I would do is if students were at a writing level below, significantly below grade level, I would work with those students one-on-one, possibly at their desk, or pull them to my table. And I would also make sure that they had an alphabet handwriting line in front of them so they could help to form their letters that way. And they would have scaffolding from me. ELL students is the ones that I would be working with at my table more closely. And what I would do is have them orally be able to give me their idea and their details, which I would then write down on a sticky note as they were giving me those details. And then I would give them that sticky note to then go to their desk and fill out their graphic organizer so that they still are getting that practice, but yet what I'm assessing right now is that they're able to come up with those ideas and the supporting details in their writing. And those TAG students are the ones that I would be going around and letting move on to that next idea and the supporting details as time would allow. So I'm going to check in with these students. What is your idea?
We made a leaf pile.
We made a leaf pile. Very good. So we made a leaf pile. What is your idea that you're going to be writing about? Don't know yet? What are some things that you did this weekend?
Made a leaf pile.
Made a leaf pile too? Is that what you want to write about too, or you want to write about something different?
Something different.
Okay. Did you go anywhere this weekend?
Mm-mm.
You didn't go anywhere?
Mm-mm.
So then what are going to be some details that you'll add to your writing? So we made a leaf pile. What is maybe one of the first things you did as you did?
My dad got his folder and got the trailer. Then he got swooped up, he swooped up 12 piles of leaves and he made one.
Okay. So you don't have enough room to write that whole detail, but could you maybe write there just to get a little bit of that detail down? My dad used a 4-wheeler, right? And then maybe in the second one you could.
The leaves. My dad.
But you don't have to use complete sentences. Here you just need to get your ideas down so then we can form into sentences and support that idea later. So an idea, did you go eat at anybody's house or anything this weekend?
Yep.
Yeah? So could that be an idea?
Mm-mm.
My idea is eating at my papa's. Don't want it to be that?
My dad.
Use the 4-wheeler you said. So then remember, we're just getting our ideas down and our details, and then we will work on forming that into sentences and forming it into paragraphs as we progress through the week. So with this lesson, I would continue to go around and monitor students and help them as they are writing and conference with them, and then help scaffold them onto new ideas that they need to support their writing. And then from there, we would end the writing lesson for today as they got those ideas. And then the next day is when we would move on to getting it into sentences. I have this one or this one with a little bit longer pages, but it just then says down here asking if they had their organization in their writing and if they had their ideas clear in their writing. So a little rubric that they can then self-assess themselves. That is my lesson on the ideas and organization of the traits of writing.